Hey, you know what I'm gonna name the video when you saw the high top? I'm gonna call it Chocolate Big Man in a Van.
Oh, Jesus.
I've been making content on this channel for 13 years now, and I think the month of May is one of my biggest growth months ever, especially with the comments. Lots of new faces in the comments, so I want to take this time to welcome new subscribers and let you guys know what I'm all about if you're new to this channel.
Flooded?
Just follow the track. I almost got stuck.
Was it flooded? Yeah.
I had to do a donut.
Yep. If he's getting stuck, I'm definitely gonna get stuck. Look at these sick vans. You need a lift. Sick add-ons, baby. I'm stealing John's lines. Yes, those are copyrighted lines. If John drives anything, sick add-ons, and you need a lift.
Me and this guy are the last ones here, as always. You go get yourself a big truck, man.
I didn't give me the big truck, man.
Big truck day. Big truck day at work. Where did all these come from? So I recently got a high top roof. You guys seem to really be enjoying the high top roof content. And now my van is the dreaded 3 colors. You know what the 3 colors means when you see a 3-color vehicle? It's a project vehicle. And that's exactly what this van is. It's a project. It's been a project since 2020. It's my second van build. My previous van, I had it from like 2008 to 2019. So I've been rolling in vans since 2008, lifted vans since 2013. But a lot of you have been suggesting that I paint this thing, and I was thinking about it. Maybe get it white where the blue is. Get it white so I'm only 2 colors. I do like the blacked out front. These are wide body fenders, so I like that a lot. This is the OG ORW light bar. My buddy Ladder and Light Bar Ryan, he reproduced these. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, lots of OG parts on this from my previous van build. I was thinking about it. Paint it white, this part white, blacked out front, but I was like, you know what? This is the identity of my channel. I take a lot of pride in like being a hardworking blue collar guy, and I know a lot of my subscribers are just like me. We don't have beauty vans. This is our favorite vehicle, and we work hard to upgrade our vans. My best friend's been around me for like 7 years. He's seen the evolution of this van. Go ahead, man. Take a tour. Go ahead, man. Go inside, man. See, it's gonna be weird standing in a vehicle.
Oh my god. That's fucking cool.
Same reaction. That's how I messed up, man. I did tours of my friends' vans with high roofs, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. About 5 years ago, I went to a well-known vendor in San Diego, and he has a pretty big YouTube channel as well. He seemed like a really nice guy. He was featuring cool vans. Yeah, like I said, YouTube channel, so I wanted to give him, you know, my business. So I went there, and he totally snubbed me. It's funny, you know. Of course, it sucked, man. I was like, man, I want to talk to people who love vans, and he seemed like a guy who really loved vans. But you know, I looked at it, and the people he was featuring and the vans he was featuring were beauty vans. His consumer base were boomers, affluent boomers. I think I'm the only person who ever went to a shop that didn't order expensive rims and tires. You know, I didn't spend 15 grand when I went there. I just spent my money on what I needed. I didn't, you know, go crazy because I didn't have the money to go crazy. He apologized years later, you know, water under the bridge now, but I always remember who I am, you know what I mean? So when that happened, I was like, man, do I look dirty? Do I look like a bum? Hey, you know what I'm gonna name the video when you saw the high top? I'm gonna call it Chocolate Big Man in a Van.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm stealing your line, Jay. You stole my line. I'm stealing your YouTube name. Chocolate Big Man in a Van. Look at what this guy makes, man. I keep telling this guy to cook desserts in bulk, man. He's like the dessert specialist. He could sell them in Well-Tech's parking lot. All the rich people go to Well-Tech's parking lot. Is this van too ugly to feature? And I remember making a video about it, and I said, you know what? You know, I made a generalization to vendors. I say, hey, don't forget that blue collar crowd, man, because yeah, the affluent people are cool. They got the money to spend, but they're not the ones who like cherish their vehicles. You've seen the beauty vans on sale all the time, and it's the guys with vans like mine who actually take them out. And someone left me a comment saying, hey man, you got snubbed because your van's way too ugly. They got an image to maintain. And how about this, man? If you ever clean up your act, maybe I'll go to one of your lifted van meets. Never forgot this comment. So when that happened, I was planning to start doing lifted van meets. My first lifted van meet, one person showed up. Second lifted van meet, 2 people showed up. Then for a while, 4 people would show up. And then 7 people showed up. Then the last 3, 20 people showed up. But yeah, when this guy left me that comment, what did he want me to say? Oh, please go to my lifted van meet. I'll behave. I speak my mind, man. So I'll never forget that comment. Clean up my act. Your van's too ugly. But, you know, like, you get a chip on your shoulder because people like an Underdog. And this is one of the ugliest vans ever on YouTube. In fact, I think I have the worst roof ever for Wasatch Overland. And, you know, Wasatch Overland, Aiden, one of the coolest guys in the industry. The other cool one in the industry, Larry from Action Van Suspension, Full Tilt Off-Road. Larry actually showed up to my lifted van meets when no one was showing up. So Larry, Aiden, Action Van Suspension, Full Tilt Off-Road. And then I want to give a shout out to Jacob and Kathy at Van & Camp. They saw what I was doing with these lifted van meets, sent me some window shades to promote. And I say, yeah, if it's a good product, I'll promote it. I would love nice window shades. So I remember who I am, you know. It's the Underdog story. So I'm going to share some, you know what, let me show you guys how bad my roof is. I'll share all kinds of vintage footage right now. I mean, if it ever gets too bad, I could always just cut the roof out and put a turtle top on this. I'm going to cut out some carpet to fit it right here. Wasatch Overland, they leave this section of roof up so you got a nice area for your bags. And yeah, here's the remnants of how bad my roof is. It's still, some of it's still there. But yeah, this is the area that, so this is roof right here, right? The remainder of roof where they cut. But this part was totally rusted out. So Wasatch Overland just put a bunch of sealant here, and then you could see the screws here. So yeah, worst roof they ever seen. One of the reasons I went to Wasatch Overland is I seen their competition actually had to turn people away for how bad their roof was. I think it's only fitting that my channel has the worst roof ever, and Wasatch Overland was able to make it work. I'll show you guys the other side right now. The driver's side wasn't all rotted out. That's what it's supposed to look like. So one of the reasons I went to Wasatch Overland is because they actually reached out to me. They seen how hard I've been working on my channel for all these years. They seen my lifted van meet content, that I actually care about this hobby. I care about the people, especially the hardworking people who do this, because I could relate with you guys. And they told me I could film for my channel. One of the other reasons I went to them is because I've seen the competition. I've seen reviews where people said the competition turned them away because their roof was way too bad to work on. Worst roof ever. I didn't even have roof left over here. I had no roof left over right here. They didn't turn me away. They made it work. I think it's only fitting that I have the worst roof ever. Like I said, people like the Underdog story. People like Rocky. My van is the Rocky of lifted vans, of the van industry. The beauty vans are Ivan Drago. So, yeah. I always remember who I am. And, yeah, it's an honor to have grown this much. My Wasatch Overland install video, high-top video, already has like 7,000 views. Usually it takes like months or a year for some of my videos to gain traction because they become search result topics. a lot of you have told me you guys have looked up Econoline problems and my videos pop up. So not only do I talk about off-road style vans and camping, I also want to talk about the Econoline itself and the technical aspects of it. That's why a lot of my videos are in search results, because I do talk about fixes and technical aspects. But it is really nice that I finally have a video that got a bunch of views. I mean, for my standards, 7,000 views in, you know, a couple days. That's big for me, and it continues to grow. YouTube continues to push it. So that's telling me high tops are cooler than lift kits. You guys like the high top more than the lift kit. But you know what? I'm going to say this, man. Being snubbed by a bigger channel was probably the best thing that happened to me. Like I said, the guy apologized. He told me, sorry if I treated you bad. I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to treat anyone bad. But by that happening, I grew my channel on my own. I didn't get no one's help. I can't associate myself with someone like someone made me this way. I pushed myself to become this way, because even though I got snubbed, I love this hobby. I wasn't going to give up. You know, like I said, first lifted van meet, one person showed up. I think for the first 2-3 years, you know, a couple people showed up until it finally grew to like 20 people showing up. So yes, the underdog story. I don't feel like an underdog anymore with these windows, man. This is too fancy. I wasn't expecting these to be this nice. When I saw this, I'm like, man, this is too classy for me. I'm dirty looking. I feel like this belongs in a Sprinter. Fancy stuff right here. Fancy stuff in a non-beauty van. Putting lipstick on a pig. That's the term, right? You didn't get the memo, man. It's big boy truck day. What is this? What is this? Jonathan should rename his YouTube channel to Chocolate Big Man in a Mazda. How many times in life do you get to work with your friend? Twice. I worked with him at FedEx for like 7 years, and now I'm working with him at our current job. Did you go get yourself a big truck, man?
I didn't give me the big truck, man.
Big truck day. Big truck day at work. Where did all these come from? Here's some real talk on friendship. Let's say the guy who snubbed me didn't snub me and we became friends from the start. How would have my channel have turned out? The guy who snubbed me has a very, very good product. It's a little bit overhyped, overrated, and his competition is every bit as good, just not as big a social media following. Had this guy become my friend from the start, I would have sugarcoated things a little bit, because I don't want to say anything negative about friends. We never do, right? So I wouldn't have mentioned the competition, because I turned a lot of people to the competition. I would have just pointed out the little flaws and the little things you could have done to improve it. Case in point, my buddy Campos, he makes wide body fenders for 92 to 2007 Econolines. He sells it for a little cheaper, and the difference is he has the bolt holes ready. You don't need to do any drilling. It's a bolt-in ready, so it's easier to install his. But I was honest, and I told him this. I'm gonna be honest. You want to give these to me for free? I want people to know what to expect. It's 98% ready. I had to cut one tab right here. See, this tab doesn't connect. I had to cut it because it wasn't lining up. And he told me if your van was in a previous fender bender, there might be a little, you know, it might have been shifted a little bit. But I mentioned that in the install video. But if you want some of these wide body fenders, let me know. I'll give you Campos's numbers. 98% bolt-in for me. Ladder and light bar Ryan. Before we became friends, he gave me this for free. Everyone who follows me on Instagram, I always go on their channel or their page, and I notice he sells ladders. So I gave people the heads up. Hey, this guy Ryan, he sells side ladders for half the price of Illumines. Ryan was so grateful of that gesture that he sent me a free ladder. I told him I'm going to be honest with the install. So my roof rail is a little bit deformed. I talked about how I have the worst roof ever. So this part right here it didn't fit flush because I have a deformed roof rail. So in my video, I said you might run into trouble right here. This part is hard to install. Maybe you should just stick to the 2 bolts right here and some washers, and this is not necessary. But I kept it in anyway. Like I said, I don't have a beauty van. Yeah, that's the honest truth. Some of you might have difficulty on this part right here, especially if your roof rails aren't perfect. Yeah, Ryan sent me this ladder and I told him, hey, I'll be honest in my review. Campos gave me these fenders and I told him, I'll be honest in my review. So if I wasn't snubbed, I wouldn't have pointed out that, I wouldn't have said overrated. I would have just said, there's a few tweaks you could do to this product. So yes, we are a little nicer to our friends. That's the reality of things.